Good evening. I'd like to call the October 22nd, 2024 City of Encinitas Zoning Administrative Hearing to order. My name is Katie Innes. I'm the planning manager here at the City of Encinitas, and I will be acting as the zoning administrator this evening. So, second order of business, if you would all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. So agenda item number 3, do we have any oral communications this evening?
No, we do not.
Thank you. So jumping into agenda item 4, which is our regular agenda. The first item is item 4A, and the project name is the Heminger Residence. It's case number use 004713-2021, and it is a request for a minor use permit to construct a new garage and detached gym exceeding 1,000 square feet. If I could please have the staff report.
Hello and good evening. My name is Fran Carr, and I'm the project planner for case number use-004713-2021. The applicant is requesting a minor use permit for the construction of a new detached garage and detached gym exceeding the maximum square footage allowances for detached accessory structures. The project site is located at 3402 Calle Margarita in Olivenhain, and the project zoning is rural residential with a zoning overlay of special study, cultural natural resources, hillside inland bluff. The surrounding neighborhood is single-family residential. The scope is limited to the construction of a 1,785 square foot detached garage and a 708 square foot gym. The garage and gym are both detached accessory structures that exceed the maximum allowable combined size limitation per the municipal code without the issuance of a minor use permit. A new driveway and other site improvements are also included on the project plans, but are not subject to discretionary planning approval and are not included in the minor use permit application request. The proposed detached accessory structures require the issuance of a minor use permit because the combined size of the structures exceed the size threshold allowed for residential lots. Per the Encinitas Municipal Code, all uses together for detached accessory garages and detached storage buildings shall not exceed 1,200 square feet or 50% of the living area of the principal residence, whichever is less. Per the above code sections, additional area may be permitted with the issuance of a minor use permit. The purpose of a minor use permit is to review certain land uses or proposed projects which may involve special site or design requirements, operating characteristics, or may have potential adverse effects on the surrounding area, and impose special conditions of approval as necessary. The proposed project has been reviewed considering its potential impacts on surrounding land uses and residences. As conditioned, it has been determined that the project is compatible with the surrounding neighborhood. The proposed detached garage and detached gym will have similar architectural style to that of the accessory structures in the surrounding rural neighborhood. The garage and gym meet the required setbacks, lot coverage, and height for the zone, and the request to exceed the standard allowable area for accessory structures is not significant in nature relative to the size of the property. The applicant held a citizen participation program meeting on the project site on October 11th, 2021. 7 members of the public were in attendance of the meeting. Comments included concerns about setbacks, exterior lighting, and access drive. The applicants explained that the structure currently meets setbacks for the zoning district, and the exterior lighting will meet the current lighting requirements in the city's performance standards. The concerns that could not be addressed included discussion of the access drive to the emergency access easement. A summary of the applicant's responses to the comments received are included as part of the CPP final report included in the project file. The notice of pending action was mailed on October 7th, 2024 for the public hearing on October 22nd. 3 public comments were received with concerns related to noise and the driveway shown on the plans. The project will be subject to noise regulations and the performance standards per the municipal code. and the driveway is not subject to discretionary planning approval and is not included in this current discretionary approval request. The driveway construction will be reviewed for safety and development standards per the grading permit. The project has been determined to be exempt from environmental review pursuant to California Environmental Quality Act, known as CEQA, Guidelines Section 15303E, which exempts the construction of small structures, including accessory structures. The location, size, and the design of the proposed project will be compatible with the surrounding uses and adjacent structures, and the project is consistent with the general plan and the Encinitas Municipal Code. The project meets all of the applicable development standards of the RR zone, including setbacks, lot coverage, and height. With that in mind, staff recommends approval of use -004713, 2021, and this concludes my staff report.
Thank you. Do we have any public speakers for the item?
We do. We have two.
Thank you. So just wanted to let everybody know, in terms of public speaking, the purpose of our administrative hearing is to obtain public comments and feedback that we will take into consideration prior to us making a decision on the project. So if we could call the first speaker, please.
Rachel De La Vega.
You have 3 minutes. Oh, it doesn't look like it.
Is there a button? Oh. There it is.
There it goes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Rachel De La Vega, and I'm a neighbor of the Hemmingers on Calle Margarita. And even though the staff report and information relayed that the actual proposed access driveway is not subject to any review or discussion, there are 4 important points I do need to make. And they are essentially, it should not be allowed because it goes directly to the emergency access road. It puts hundreds of homes at risk during a wildfire evacuation. It puts any resident's life at risk when an ambulance or fire department rig is called. The applicant's past actions have affected public safety, including tampering with the fire department gate and setting off illegal fireworks. And so my concern is that if something were to happen, it creates liability, of course, for the city, but for anybody who, any of us who are private owners on this private road, because we do have liability for this. So I would request an additional review. Even if these have been made, they may not have understood the points. So for wildfire evacuation risk, this is the access road for everyone who lives north of Fortuna Ranch Road, according to their planning. We call it the fire road, has signage stating no trespassing, emergency vehicle use only, and no parking fire lane. In the most recent October 2007 fires, we, among many, were evacuated using this route. Also, several years ago, when Lone Jack was blocked off for sewer repair work, our road was opened for the public for 3 months, so it was used as a public thoroughfare, according to the fire department. So to me, having an emergency access designed to save hundreds of lives is incompatible with having a single family use driveway. In a medical emergency, the Carlsbad will send a rig through that gate into that neighborhood. And in fact, my husband's life was saved in such an occasion in 2012. The actions affecting public safety were the applicant disabled and tampered with the electronic access on the gate in order to install a personal clicker so he could drive as a shortcut. The fire department had him remove it and installed a no tampering sign. Last year, they set off some fireworks for a party, so they did not care that it was against the law, a misdemeanor, a $1,000 fine, and I called the sheriff. We are a very high-fired hazard severity zone. I have 4 seconds, so I really, please conclude that it's incompatible. Pretty good. Good job. Wow. I tried.
Thank you for your comments. call the next speaker, please.
Hi, I was just following up on the plan from before that we went over when we had a neighborhood meeting. At that, any suggestions that were made by the people at the meeting, absolutely none were incorporated into this. So I'd like to just start with the gym, and as far as that's the location, it's the front of the house. It's going to directly impact the noise because of the fact that no gym is quiet. People are dropping weights, playing music, etc. My son-in-law is an Escondido police officer, also a SWAT guy. He lives directly across the street with my daughter and 2 kids in our accessory unit. And that's just not going to work for his schedule. But and also what I did is my proposal, and you have copies of that today, 3 alternative locations for the guest house, I'm sorry, the gym. And that would be located near the sport court and the skate park. So that would make sense to me, is to put all the noise creating aspects of this property in one place. And totally seems reasonable. And then you get away from that. Also now, going to the driveway exiting on the emergency access road. So I'll read a couple statements here about this. Having lived through 3 months of opening the emergency access road to through traffic when sewer work was being done in Lone Jack and many near-miss accidents we witnessed, along with the issues that came up controlling the traffic on the road, adding another new entrance onto the emergency access road is unthinkable. How you can put somebody's driveway onto the emergency access road is quite unusual for me. In addition, the driveway will cross the horse trail twice and potentially endanger horses, the riders and hikers. Approaching the driveway from the west direction in both the emergency access road and the horse trail have blind to traffic coming on that way. And also I'm proposing in my plan an access, a new driveway that's going to be right on to Calle Margarita. Houses that have that already are Robbie's house, the McDonald's house, the Regnieri's house, my house, Hennis's house, Gupta, thank you, and Barry's house, which is now the Kovalik's house. So we have 6 houses up there that take the driveway and put it out onto Calle Margarita. That's acceptable to everybody. We do not see why you have to take a driveway, put it onto the emergency access road when there's an absolutely wonderful place for it to be. In my report, which is in there, and things in the PDF file that I just submitted today, you see a drawing where it comes down and out. And it would just follow suit with what everybody else in the neighborhood has done, period. It makes sense to take it onto a street that is a cross street versus putting it onto the emergency access way. So that is one of the suggestions that there. And another thing I'd like to point out is the average daily traffic on the ranch roads in the Carlsbad development is 1,220 cars. And this is going to have 4,000 cars a day. Last thing is the design, has that been scoped out to carry the weight of 4,000 cars a day in an emergency? And those numbers are available when we have the fire road. That's all.
Thank you.
I'd like to speak more, but that's good enough.
Thank you. For the record, I did want to indicate that we did receive those comments that you are talking about. So we will be taking a closer look at those comments before we, move to make a decision on the project. Additionally, I would like to mention in terms of the driveway and the wildfire risk and emergency access, that the project that is before us for consideration right now is the use permit for the gym and the garage. And the driveway, that scope is going to be looked at as part of our grading permit submittal, and as part of that review process, our fire department would be looking at that, making sure that emergency access requirements are being met. Our traffic department would be looking at it in terms of line of sight. We hear your comments, and as part of that grading permit plan check process, we will be looking at all of those items to make sure that they're meeting fire and traffic requirements. In terms of noise concerns, did want to let you all know that there is a noise ordinance that the city has in our municipal code, and the project is going to be required to comply with those noise standards as part of the project, and them, in operation and using those types of facilities, that requirement is going to be in place for them. Yes. Yes. So just wanted to make sure we kind of have two different scopes that we're looking at. This is more the compatibility related to these accessory structures and the driveway, helpful for us to have these comments so that we can work with all of the city reviewers to address them as part of the grading permit plan check. Thank you. Is the applicant present, and would the applicant like to speak?
I'm not sure if the applicant himself is here, but he does have 3 representatives here for questions.
Any of the applicant representatives like to speak?
Bob Booker.
I reside at 3451 Toscano Court, at the end of Lone Jack Road, and I'm a consultant for the applicant and a builder here in Encinitas for the last 30 years. The comments that have been noted on the emergency access, I think you've clarified it, that that's not a part of the process, and right now the client is very sensitive to that issue, and that's going to be further evaluated just for the sake of the neighbors. Regarding the gym location, just a couple of notes regarding noise attenuation. First off, the floor system was designed for a rubber floor mat system. The family, they're not heavy power lifters, although I understand there could be some noise generated from that, but we don't anticipate major noise attenuation issues from the inside of that space. Windows on the east side of that gym are non-operative windows, so they cannot be opened, that are aligning with Calle Margarita, and there are no windows on the north side of the property that would abut the adjacent property owner to the north and further any kind of noise transfer. So just wanted to put that out there for consideration.
Thank you. Appreciate the comments. Okay, any other speakers on the item? Possibly seeing one? If you could come, if you could fill out a speaker slip and then come up to the microphone, please. Welcome.
So everything has already been said, and I really don't want to beat a dead bush. I am the neighbor across the way from the fire road. And I, like everyone else, has witnessed what just a few cars going by, it makes a difference in the peace and tranquility of the neighborhood. My major concern, again, is the fact that the resident has opened the gate so that electric bikes are now hazardous in our neighborhood. All the way from Lone Jack, up Double L, up through the fire road, they're doing wheelies. And, I have personally spoken to him about this, and he said, I want to do that for the kids, and I'm going to do it. So having said that, he has increased traffic, bike traffic, kid traffic, teenagers. We've already had a mortality in our neighborhood with a kid on a bike, electric bike. And, it has affected all of us. I don't ever drive by and not think of that day and see him lying there. And I just don't want to see it again. It's a safety issue. An easement is an easement. Just accept it. My house has an easement. I want to open it and ride my golf cart all around my easement. Well, I'll only do it once in a while, I promise. But the history with this property has been that, given the fireworks and, the increased traffic he's caused our neighborhood, I just have a really hard time believing that it will be used for garage, quote unquote, and whatever else he's proposing. I think it will be used a lot more often, and we're gonna have a battle ahead of us. Again, an easement is an easement. Fire evacuation and emergency road for a reason. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. If you could just state your name and address for the record.
I'm Robbie McDonald, 3380 Calle Margarita.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does that conclude our speakers? You guys switched. Oh,
Yeah, that concludes the speakers.
it looks like we maybe have one more. Are you
Oh,
wanting to
that's
speak
what
on
he
behalf
said.
of the
Sorry.
applicant?
Bob
Yeah,
Booker,
owner.
Sean.
Did you fill out
Oh.
a speaker slip?
Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay, I see it now. Sorry, we had to switch up real quick.
My name is Max Wuthridge. I'm an architect for the Hemmingers. And I just wanted to clarify a couple of things for the neighbors as well as council. I'm one of those people that really wants to please everybody, so I'm disappointed constantly. There are many places you could probably put this gym on the property, but it's really imperative that this isn't, it's not a gym for commercial or neighborhood use. It's really for Ben and Emily. That's why it's situated, in close proximity to the master bedroom and the master garden. That was the whole reason for it. The other thing is you have a large berm between the street and the gym, which is really going to cut out most of the view. The fact that we don't have any kind of sound transmitting openings on the east or the north, I think, is very helpful as well. I wanted just to make that clear. I don't have much to say about the easement road. I just know that a majority of my work is in Rancho Santa Fe, and we have tons of flag lots which have egress easements granted by one owner to the next. And some of those actually do have other drives coming in. They're not emergency egress easements, but yeah.
Can you actually submit on the plans something that is representative of what's on the plotted ground? There has recently been added something to the front of the house, and it's not in your plans.
To the front of the house?
You should walk out there and see.
Yeah, I haven't been out there in a while. To the front of the house, though. When you say front, you mean?
So Max, I'm sorry, I have to interject.
Sorry.
Just to keep,
I'm here for you.
yeah,
Okay.
if
Well,
you
then
could.
I'm done.
You're done,
I think I'm
okay.
done. I'll take a look. Thank you very much.
Maybe, coordination discussion, yeah, thank you. Does that conclude the speakers? Double check.
I believe so. Did anybody else fill out a form that we didn't call yet? Okay, looks like it.
Very good. So thank you. We appreciate you being here and taking the time to make these comments to us. We will take them under consideration in the decision. I also wanted to ask staff if they could, it looks like there is a condition of approval that is appearing to me to address some of the concerns and kind of memorialize the city's next steps in terms of the access drive. So Fran, would you be able to take a peek at that condition of approval, please?
Yes, so there is a condition of approval for the project for the use permit that indicates that the fire access will be reviewed during grading plan submittal for compliance, including but not limited to the driveway width, proposed surface materials, and slope. So that would, if there is any concern, the fire department will be looking at any and all driveways being constructed as part of this project.
Thank you. So that concludes the agenda item for 4A. So it looks like agenda item 4B, jumping to the next one on the agenda, is the Kister Remodel and Addition, case number multi-006598 2023. And this project is a public hearing to consider a request for the construction of an addition and addition to an attached single-family residence. If we could have the staff report, please.
Good evening, zoning administrator. My name is Rebecca Batesall, associate planner, project manager for this project. The Kister Remodel and Addition project site is located at 1828 Parliament Road within the community of Leucadia in the residential 11 zone, special study overlay, coastal bluff overlay, and coastal zone overlay within the coastal zone's appeal jurisdiction. The request is to raise the plate height of the western wall of the existing living room from 7 feet 4 inches to 11 feet by decreasing the existing roof pitch from 412 to 212, lower the existing master bedroom roof height by decreasing the pitch from 412 to 212, and construct a 64.75 square foot addition at an attached single-family residence in the Sea Bluff Village community. This project has been determined to be exempt from environmental review pursuant to CEQA, the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines, section 15301E1, which exempts additions to existing structures, provided the addition would not result in an increase of more than 50% of the floor area of the structures before the addition, or 2,500 square feet, whichever is less. Staff has determined the proposed project is in conformance with the general plan and Encinitas Municipal Code. The project complies with all applicable development standards of the residential 11 zone. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the coastal development permit and substantial conformance permit, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any public speakers on item 4B?
No, there are no speakers.
Is the applicant present for item 4B, and would you wish to speak? No? Okay. Excellent. So if we can just let the record reflect that the applicant is present but does not wish to speak. Thank you. So that concludes the public hearing for item 4B. So moving on to item 4C is the Duran residence. It is case number CDP 007365 2024, and the project is located at 2081 Sheridan Road, and it's requesting a coastal development permit. If we could please have the staff report from Hoger.
Yeah. Good evening, zoning administrator. My name is Hoger Sully. I am an assistant planner with the city of Encinitas. Before you is CDP-007365-2024 for the property located at 2081 Sheridan Road. The subject property is located within the residential 3 and in the coastal overlay zone within the Coastal Commission appeal jurisdiction. The subject property is a single-family residential lot developed under the jurisdiction of the County of San Diego, with a single-family residence and a detached garage. The applicant is seeking the approval of a CDP permit to authorize the removal of the single-family residence, the accessory dwelling unit, the construction of a new single-family with an attached garage and an attached accessory dwelling unit. Additionally, the applicant is proposing the construction of a new detached accessory dwelling unit with a detached garage. The proposed project complies with with all municipal code requirements and aligns with the policies of the Encinitas general plan. It is consistent with the city's adopted local coastal program. Additionally, the project is exempt from environmental review under Section 15301 and Section 1303. Section 1301 exempts the demolition and the removal of small structures such as a single-family home, and Section 15303 exempts the construction of one new single-family residence, including the construction of accessory dwelling. With that in mind, staff recommends the approval of the Coastal Development Permit 007365-2024, and that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any public speakers on item 4C?
There are no speakers.
No speakers. Is the applicant present? Would the applicant wish to speak? Nope. Okay, so let the record reflect that the applicant is present and does not wish to speak. With that, we will conclude the zoning administrative hearing of October 22nd at 5:32 p.m. Thank you.